Hey, my name is Steve Hinton, and I serve as a pastor and author.
And I'm your co-host, Matthias. I serve as a personal trainer and a volunteer at my local church. Join us now for another episode of The Man Identity.
Well, Matthias, when we kicked this series off, this podcast off, I made the point that most of our content would be educational, inspirational, helping guys to answer some questions, see who they are. But I also just wanted to take periodically, just do some episodes that were light, kind of if I can talk here, informative, like Marshall, the car show. Part of it was just fun. The older guys in classic rock. And today we have one that's I mean, you know me, I'll pull some lessons out of it. I try to pull a lesson out of everything, but part of it's just fun.
Yeah.
Part of it's just fun.
Just with the bros.
Just with the bros. Man movies. I actually did a blog post, Matthias, about this, I don't know, maybe a year ago, and we'll put it in the show notes where I made a blog post on, the top 50 man movies or something like that, which is incredibly hard to quantify. How do you do that? But I was able to get together with four guys, Robert Tippett, Scott McKenzie, Leo Lopez. Leo Lopez, he's been on the show before. He's got to be one of the most encouraging men in the world I know. And then my little brother, who's actually bigger than me. But these are guys that are in my group, my bros that, we all need to have a band of brothers. And these are my biggest band of brothers. But just talking about man movies and different categories. And I hope some guys will get some laughs out of it. When we're done, we can talk about what are some lessons that we could learn from man movies. But it's just a fun episode. And I hope somebody can get a couple of chuckles and maybe at the end of the day, something to think about as well.
Yeah, it was really good. It's funny to see the bros from the older generation get together and talk about the same things. It's the same vibe as the younger guys, just with different topics, different things. So it's an interesting listen. And I watched. I saw. I'm not a big movie person, but I have seen a good number of the movies I talked about. And we'll talk more about that in the second segment of this. But without further ado, are you ready to kind of get this rolling for them?
Let's do this. The Man Identity, whatever episode this is on man movies.
Man movies. Let's go.
Well, I think it's important for our listening and viewing audience to know that this is tough's probably not the right word, a confusing topic. What are man movies? And I just need you to know this. I have already had to pull two or three of these guys off of each other in debating what constitutes a good man movie. Is it an HBO series? Does that count or whatever? They've already been at each other's throats. So
that's a series, not a movie.
Well, there we are. This is going to be a good episode. Men, thank you. Different places, a lot of different history, older than a lot of our audience. Eric, you're the baby of the group here. I forgot what you're going to be. You're going to be
you guys are old.
You've got a birthday here in a few weeks, and you're going to be 49.
Holding strong.
That's not right. That's not right.
Sticking to this side of the century.
Yeah. Well, all that to say is with
here's the upside of all that, Steve. The movies we're going to list tonight, all the young men watching this show are going to be able to find for free on Tubi.
Yes, yeah. Well, we have.
Yeah, but who wants to watch the commercials?
We have a library of more movies to watch. It kind of reminds me. Every now and then you'll see a clip on YouTube where somebody, pulls up an old classic rock song and they listen to it and it's like, oh my goodness, I had no idea.
Yeah.
And
don't get Robert started down the rock road.
We are not doing that. We're not talking.
Didn't
about
you did a whole episode on that? I think Leo and Robert were on it.
And after this one, we're gonna have to do one on soundtracks. So
that would be good.
We're talking about movies, and we debated a little bit. And about a year ago, I did do a blog post called Man Movie 101, and you brought that up earlier, Robert. How did I define what a man movie is, or at least the type of man movie that we would talk?
Well, I gotta get back to it.
I can read it. I got it in front of me. I
Good.
stated that any movie on that list could not be a simple action movie. Though Jason Bourne or James Bond might be tempting, but sorry, no Rambo, John Wick, or Equalizer. And we're going to debate this, Steve. Well, those are fun. I was looking for either historical or something that conveys profound truth boys and younger men need to nourish in their souls. Bravery, self-sacrifice, standing for principle, and honor.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the blog post that I put out. I don't know when that was, maybe a year ago, and I will put that in the show notes. And it was like 50 movies that I kind of put together. I did say that there was nothing scientific about it, which Robert was happy that I put that caveat in there, because apparently I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, it's not a real thing. That's all I'm saying.
Well, we are going to open it up tonight. And we do have a category for simple action movies. So anything goes there. But it is kind of the idea that, we can learn things from movies. I mean, even if you just have a couple of guys who are brothers, band of brothers, and they just want to blow off some steam, and they're going to go watch something blow up. There's
and fist my bump. We're going to fist my bump when that happens.
Yeah, there we are. But why don't we start out? If you could just pick one all-time movie, what would you pick? And I'll go first. For me, it would be Return of the King, the third installment of the Lord of the Rings. I just like the way that Aragorn grows and who he is, and ultimately evil's defeated. But that would be, if I just had to pick one, for me it would be Return of the King.
That's one of my all-time favorite movies, but I'm going to go with Ben-Hur. And there's multiple iterations of it. It's the Charlton Heston version. Okay. So it meant something to me before I became a believer. And the cool kind of backstory to it is Lew Wallace is the writer of Ben-Hur. He wrote a book. He was a Civil War general, and he was a guy who was basically an atheist and then an agnostic. And Ben-Hur is kind of his allegory or story of how he came to Christ. And so there's several moments within the film that, besides it being the hero's journey, Charlton Heston being a rich guy that, was then sold into slavery. And then along the way, he gets to experience Christ and a healing, and it's pretty powerful. Okay.
I've heard of Ben-Hur. Age-wise, is it Tippett or Leo? I can't remember. I'm thinking Leo.
Probably Tippett. He's over in dirt.
Tippett, you go next. Robert Tippett.
Yeah, well, it's the problem I'm going to have is we haven't really dealt with the real subject here. Is what the heck is a man movie? What's funny is if we all gave our own definitions, they would not be the same.
They would not.
But what I find fascinating about it is if I ask you what a chick flick is, we're almost all going to agree. So it's kind of
we're going to agree that it's boring.
Well, not necessarily, but that we know.
Are you just going on and on about this because you can't pick one movie? I mean, you just can't name one top movie.
I have my absolute favorite movie of all time, and for me, it is a man movie. But you guys are going to laugh at it. So it's Field of Dreams.
Okay.
So that is my all-time favorite movie. Period. And for me, it is a man movie. However, by my definition of a man movie, it would not qualify. So.
Okay.
Okay. Well, why is that?
Because my definition of a man movie is a movie that my wife or my daughter will not see with me.
Yeah, but my wife is not going to see John Wick, but my daughter will see that with me.
Yeah, but that's why I have both. Is because there's movies my daughter will see with me, my wife will not see with me, but there are still movies my daughter will not see with me.
Yeah. Okay.
It depends on how much they love us.
I'm giving you my all-time favorite movie, but if I were really going to answer the question, what is my favorite man movie? It's actually a double hitter. So you have to watch these two at the same, in sequence.
Of course, you're going to pick two instead of one.
It's not one; it's two.
Yeah, exactly. You have to be different than everybody.
This third one.
No, it's Fight Club.
Okay.
Followed by Boondock Saints in that order. You just need a time for a bio break and some snacks. So.
Okay. I've only seen Fight Club.
That's what I had. Fight Club.
So next, you're going to be advocating for Les Grossman playing Tom Cruise in his documentary or something.
That's when we get to comedy, or war movies. So let me just say this: I like things that are weird, and Fight Club definitely falls into the weird category. It's very cerebral. It's mind bending. Even people who don't have any kind of faith or belief, who have watched it have said to me, "Wow, that really bends your mind." It really does, and so it's going to give you a mental workout to go through that movie.
So much
and the
for
reason,
not being able to talk about it, right?
And the reason why I want to have Boondock Saints after it is because Boondock Saints is like getting into your nothing box for a couple hours and recovering from watching Fight Club.
See, I've not seen Boondock Saints, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, the original. I've never seen the second one, nor did I want to, because the problem with the first one is it has no ending. So, but I loved it because it was a lot of fun. But there's nothing significant about Boondock Saints other than it's
Sean Patrick Flannery's awesome in it, and so is the guy from The Walking Dead.
Yeah, Reedus, whatever his last name is.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Leo, the top movie.
Well, I did really like Fight Club. That was like right up there. But I'm just gonna go with like the action type, and I gotta say this is timeless. It's Enter the Dragon. It was a timeless.
Okay.
I can watch that show anytime.
It's timely too. That's timely.
Over and it's one of those. Yeah, it's a man movie, but hey, everybody digs Bruce Lee because he was the man. I mean,
that is an old one. That's an old one.
It's tough to. I mean, and I liked all his stuff. It wasn't, though it was very limited, but that one was definitely that's right up there at the top. So
okay,
and I've got a lot of stuff, but that we'll just label it that, and that's it.
Yeah,
Eric
Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh yeah,
I think mine's manlier than Field of Dreams. Didn't that one have Charlie Sheen in it?
No, it did not have Charlie Sheen.
That's the one, right?
It did not have Charlie Sheen.
No, mine was when I was in high school, came out, and it was informative to me, and that's Braveheart.
Okay.
So you can look back on Braveheart now, and you're like, oh, it's kind of cheesy, and some of the effects are just like, wow, that was the 90s. But the depth of it, and then just the timing in my life as a young man was pretty formative for me.
Yeah,
Braveheart's good. Eric, you may not remember this, but I remember before I saw The Patriot, you described it. You said, well, Steve, it's kind of like Braveheart, but the main guy lives. I thought, well, okay.
That's a classic.
Braveheart has valor, honor, and then sacrifice. I mean, it's great. That's a great man's movie.
Grappling with your principles, standing firm. And really, Robert the Bruce is one of the main characters. And maybe even you might say the central character in Braveheart. Obviously, William Wallace is the main character, but from a character grappling situation, William Wallace has to wrestle his demons, make tough decisions, fail, look for redemption. So I wasn't as keen on The Patriot. It was an okay movie to watch, but I thought it was just Braveheart. Braveheart did so well. We're like, well, let's just make another one.
Yeah.
Revolutionary War. Yeah. And
I agree.
He was not patriotic. It should have been called The Avenger. Was revenge, not patriotism.
Right. Yep. Yeah. I agree.
Since Braveheart came out, and it has been a while, there have been 2 or 3 movies over Robert the Bruce that have come out since then as well.
Well, I just want to say across this panel, I agree with everything everybody's given. Steve, the only qualification I would give to you is to just put the whole trilogy together, because the worst of those 3 movies is the one that you named. So.
And I forgot to ask you, Steve, were you talking about the theatrical version or the extended one?
Oh, you got to do the extended.
Okay, good. Because you need to do all 3 and watch all the extras. Anybody that's interested in doing filmmaking should watch those and the behind the scenes. It's amazing.
Oddly enough, in that trilogy, because it's in my list of things to definitely discuss that I thought was fascinating, was the second one, where we really get to see the Steward of Gondor, because I feel like as American men, one of the concepts we don't really understand fully is what a kingdom is and what it really means. I think the Lord of the Rings really gives us a picture of what that looks like. And the idea of, I'm a steward here, I'm not the king, and I'm here just to steward this thing forward.
Well, and I'm going to go back to our original premise of what's a man's movie that you can't really pick The Return of the King because it's a trilogy. and he intended
I can
it as
do whatever
one
I
book.
want
So
to, 'cause it's my show.
it's really one movie. It's either all three count as one movie or you count it as a trilogy. It can't just be a single man's movie.
Oh, then I'm going with Avengers because I get like 26 movies.
There you
Yeah,
go.
good.
There you
That's
go.
a good one. That's a good one. Plus the whole
But-
multiverse.
But I think
What's to come?
Tippett's point was well taken. Just what can we learn from these movies?
Yeah.
A pure action, simple action. I said we couldn't do that in the blog post, but just a dumb action movie. I'm going to go with John Wick 1 or 2. For me, it's all the Russian connection because we lived in Russia for 2 years. But I'll go John Wick 1 or 2.
Anything John Wick is good. What are you talking
Well,
about?
let me ask you guys this though, and it's not on my list of things to talk about. But if you like John Wick, have you seen Nobody?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've heard of it. I
Yeah.
haven't seen it. Okay.
You
One
need
and
to
out.
watch Nobody.
It's got
Yeah.
a 2 now.
The
Yes.
two was like John Wick. 2 was not quite up to the par of the
One.
first one.
Yeah,
The
Nobody's
first one was
brilliant, and it's
fantastic.
produced by folks that were involved with John Wick. So it's
Yeah, it's
got,
the John. It's the
got
John
the
Wick
same
crew all
flavor.
over again.
yeah.
But
That's
it's
a good one.
definitely different text though than I mean it's got that, but it's
Well,
family oriented and
that first John Wick is don't kill the guy's dog, right? And this one is don't steal his daughter's bracelet. So it's
don't hit my daughter
Well,
in the back of the head.
I'm gonna go with the Jason Statham movie. Then I'm gonna choose Beekeeper. I don't know if you guys
That's
saw
good.
it, but it was just
Very
really
good.
well
I've seen that.
done.
Very good.
It's got some dark humor to it, but it's got some excellent actors in it, and it was just good.
Yeah, it was a very good.
It's
movie.
of course
Very
it's
good.
Jason Statham playing a beekeeper in a Jason Statham movie.
movie, right?
That was
Eric,
good.
what do you got?
Just straight action movie. I'm gonna backtrack a little. Actually, it's not just because of the straight action, but I love The Matrix.
Okay.
Matrix was
Ooh, that's a good one.
1998, and it's got cool action. So I'm kind of answering your question, but man, I love the psyche of the real that's behind what we see. To me, I know the Wachowski brothers, who are now the Wachowski sisters, I believe.
Oh, no.
That's correct.
They just broke open like an introduction to philosophy book and made The Matrix. But I love it, and it's a great action show too. It's pretty cool.
So
Yeah, I have
Eric,
it on my sci-fi list of this.
yeah, it's on my
stuff.
sci-fi list also, Eric, and I will tell you that it's the only movie the Wachowskis made that I don't think is absolutely deplorable. It was fantastic, and I loved it so much that I insist anybody who tells me there were sequels don't know what they're talking about. There were never any sequels to that movie.
It just died out.
Yeah, and as Neo, New Man, I mean, there's a lot of Christian. You mentioned the philosophy, but there's also some Christian worldview kind of built into that whole Matrix thing.
Totally.
And then the
Definitely.
whole
I
red
can-
pill, blue pill thing, I know has become political, but it can
it's-
also be
It's about
spiritual.
repentance. It's about repentance.
Correct. Yes.
And the thing that cracks me up is that culturally, I think the term woke comes from that film. And
Ooh.
unfortunately, the cultural term woke is waking up from one dream world into another dream world, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Whereas in the
I like
movie,
that.
it is really trying to wake up from a dream world into reality.
Yeah. Woke is an actual African American term that predates all of that and then got co-opted. So that's a whole another podcast, probably.
That is totally a whole other podcast. Okay,
The Matrix
war
is
movies.
fantastic. Good call. Hang on, I didn't actually say mine.
Okay. Well,
mine
you said plenty. You said plenty.
oh, I do.
You picked
have-
like 3 movies for the first one.
So I do like the Mission Impossible series when it comes to just raw
Okay.
action. What's funny is I
Okay,
did
next.
enjoy this. I did enjoy the second one that everybody
Who's up?
hates.
Okay, audience, I'm apologizing. For
Yeah,
all
you
this.
need
I'm
to
just
chime
having
in,
too much
Leo.
fun.
Oh no.
Okay, Robert Tippett,
that-
Mission Impossible movies. He likes number 2.
Yeah, because I'm going to mention the Bourne series then.
Hey, what about Dust to Dawn?
Ooh, that's good. And we don't really have kind of horror comedy in our thing
That-
too.
and
That's
that had-
good.
that-
Comedy.
We
that
kind of have
really
comedy,
did.
but not horror.
It had it all. It really did.
Yeah.
Or Pulp Fiction. I mean,
I don't know what category that one is.
Tarantino.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
He's a
he put
category
out
in his
some good
own.
stuff. He definitely he was out there.
Well,
He
well,
still
Scott,
is.
Jason Bourne. That was
Oh, you're trying to bring us back on track. I was enjoying Leo's sidetrack there. Let's go down that bunny trail. You don't want to put an R or X rating on this podcast, huh?
And with the Jason Bourne, I also enjoy just the whole international feel. I mean, he's always in another country, and so I like that as well.
Oh no, we needed the soundtrack. That was a good soundtrack. Hey,
there we are. When we started this podcast, I told Matthias that we needed to get a soundtrack kind of like Jason Bourne, and
that's a good idea.
Couldn't do
I
that.
like that.
Good one. It really did.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, war movie, historical war movies. Man, there are so many. Even before we kicked off, I remembered 13 Hours, the whole Benghazi thing, but I'm thinking more of a World War II. Although, Eric, I remember that you and I saw Black Hawk Down in Cincinnati together, and that's pretty good. But if I had to pick one, I would go with an old one, A Bridge Too Far, World War II, Operation Market Garden. It's a long movie, but it just shows a lot of bravery, and it is old movie, so it's not going to have all the special effects and everything, but just a good, solid movie showing bravery in soldiers. And if I had to just pick one, I would go with that.
Yeah, that's a great one. That whole story about Market Garden. I especially like Gene Hackman's character in it. He plays the Polish general who's going to be, parachuting in there, and just all the, the number of actors that participated in that movie.
Oh yeah,
and
Sean
the book
Connery
that it's based off
Yeah.
of. They did a really good job of, they show, like, I can't remember if it's the beginning of the movie or the end of the movie, they show the actor with the actual picture of the real person, and they look very similar.
Yeah.
When was that movie made?
That was in the 70s.
Yeah.
Which
I'm
one?
gonna go with Full Metal Jacket.
So that was on my list of possibilities. Yeah, that was a solid.
And
film.
there's other ones, but I'll just throw that out there.
Yeah, Full Metal Jacket and Platoon are definitely ones you don't want to take your girl to.
Yeah, I had Platoon down too.
Yeah, those are the language meter is just off the chart on those two. But
that's Tippett's favorite.
Well, it's interesting because it's how you qualified it. You said historical war movies, so that takes out things like Taps.
Okay, I remember that too.
And some others, but you could go Gladiator if you wanted to go historical war movies.
That's the one that I was gonna say.
Or 300.
The Gladiator.
And the only reason I bring those up is because I do think about the Roman Empire 3 or 4 times a day. So, the one I would probably call out is Apocalypse Now. So.
Oh, you got in 3 or 4 movies again. How do you keep doing that? That's pretty amazing.
I'm trying to limit it down here.
Okay,
man.
I am all in on the Vietnam theme and going back to
Texas.
To Mel Gibson. We Were Soldiers. It's another Vietnam War movie.
Yeah, that's a good one.
General Hal Moore wrote this book, We Were Soldiers.
Yeah,
but he became a general. So he was a lieutenant colonel during Vietnam, the movie and stuff like that. But he had wrote the movie, and all sorts of Hollywood people came to him to try to do it as a film, and he would not do it with them because of this topic. He wanted somebody that was going to choose courage and honor and bravery and that type of stuff. And when oh God, what's his name? The not Mel Gibson, but the guy that directed it, Randall Wallace. So Randall Wallace went to him and sold him on that. And then the beginning of the episode that happens in Vietnam is he is first on the field, and he will not leave the field until he's found all of his soldiers. Yeah. He's the last man off the field. So it's a total study in leadership. And the whole thing is just amazing. The book's really good, and the movie is very close to it. It's really good.
Yeah, I want to jump on that, Scott. I think you're absolutely right, and it made me think of Platoon. And Platoon came out in 86, 87, something like that. Yep. And I mean, it's a Vietnam War movie, but it totally trashes the army. I mean, it's like everything bad that happened, they showed. The history that I know of Vietnam, when it first kicked off, there was a lot of noble thinking that we want to help people. And then it just spiraled down from there. But yeah, Platoon was, I mean, it's a war movie, it's grisly. But it was like the whoever wrote it or directed or whatever. It's an anti-war movie. Yeah, that's it. They were trying to say
Oliver Stone.
Okay, Yeah, they were trying to say America's bad, the Army's bad, these guys are bad. Matter of fact, we're all just bad. And
they're drug addicted soldiers, all of that stuff.
That's why,
committing
it's why I love
atrocities.
Forrest Gump.
Another man movie.
It's a story about the Vietnam War.
Run, Forrest, run.
It is a story about
I mean,
Vietnam.
we're following all the money trails.
Okay, historical drama.
I didn't give my war movie.
Okay. Come on.
Eric,
Pump the brakes.
Eric, you
I've
got
got
to jump in
6.
here,
I'm
brother.
about to lay down.
You can give 5. You can give 5 war movies, Eric.
And still be I want to just give.
You'll still be under Tippett.
That's right. I want to give out a shout out to my high school guys group who this was their idea, and they chose Hacksaw Ridge, another Mel Gibson movie.
That's
very good.
Yeah, and that one's a strong historical basis. But I'll tell you, one of my favorite is the new Midway.
Oh, yeah.
Recently, not decades ago.
5,
Woody
6 years
Harrelson,
ago.
by the way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that one is just, you don't have to make up anything about that story, and it'll keep you on the edge of your seat.
Yeah.
I think you're just an Ed Screen fan, right?
Yes. Who's that?
Yeah. I'll have Matthias help you out with who that is.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Now, historical dramas. Apollo 13 was good, in my opinion. 13 Days, Kevin Costner was in it, about the Cuban Missile Crisis. It's kind of a war feel, but I like Churchill, The Darkest Hour. I'm a Churchill fan. But those are a couple things that come to my mind. So historical drama. What do you got?
Green Mile.
Is that the prison?
Great movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just had a lot. It had so much just going for it, and it was very well put together. And it's another one that you could watch
again and again.
You might need a tissue.
You don't even realize it's a Stephen King film.
Right.
Really?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I only saw it once a long time ago.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, I like that one.
In the same vein with the prison, I'm going to submit Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, that's right underneath the other one I got.
Yep, that's on one of my lists.
Okay.
No, that one's
that's a good one.
Yeah, I'm going with Cinderella Man, which is a story about a boxer during the Depression. It was very well done.
Yeah.
Russell Crowe is the lead guy in that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'll throw in Raging Bull real quick too.
Raging Bull. I'm waiting because I have 7 or 8 to list.
All right. Well, then I'm going to get in my second one in multiple categories. It's Unbroken.
Oh, yeah.
It is such. I can't even. I came to it because of Audible. So I had the book, listened to the Audible, and then when the movie came out, it was just amazing because it's the story of Louis Zamperini, who's a runner, but it takes place. The main part of it is during World War II, and he is in a Japanese concentration camp, and the whole story is his journey of coming to faith. And then at the end, towards the end of his life, he was even involved in like Billy Graham crusades and things like that. But you have to actually read the book or listen to the Audible or watch the movie to understand what this guy went through, or listen to some of his preachings that he did and testimonies and stuff.
Okay, Tippett, let's have it.
Well, if I were going to go with the prison theme that we have rolling here, I could do a Brother Where Art Thou, but I won't do that.
That's kind of a comedy.
Well,
yeah, I would go with The Longest Yard.
It's not actually the
Longest Yard in there too.
But the truth of the matter is, we should do a discussion about the Coen brothers at some point here. With all that said, though, I'm probably going to do a mic drop in The Passion of the Christ. So.
Oh, okay. Okay, that would have hit.
Yeah, I'm surprised that didn't come up earlier.
2004, 2003, 2004. Yeah, it's all in Aramaic.
Is there any Mel Gibson movie that we don't like?
Yeah, probably.
We didn't even bring up Mad Max. I mean, there's a whole bunch of man movies that he did.
Maybe. Yeah. Mad Max 3, probably. All of his Lethal Weapon movies were great. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Passion of the Christ. I was thinking on
action
that
and comedy
in the romance. Because of his love for us.
Okay, that's interesting. Well, that shows us, how much Christ loves us.
So it's funny. Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, that movie has multiple important moments in my life. One being that it's a memory that I have with my dad who had Huntington's disease, and we had him living in our home for a while, and then it just became physically not good for him, that he needed more medical care and stuff like that. But I remember going to that movie with him. That was also the time frame that after that I ran into a guy, and this was at a business function, and he was just raving about a men's event that he had been to. And I had also read a book by John Eldridge, Wild at Heart. So I had seen the movie The Passion, read the book Wild at Heart, run into this guy, and we go out to lunch, and it's 55 minutes of us talking about his experience on a weekend. So he invited me to this weekend called Marked Man for Christ, and I went and did that, and I've been involved with that ministry for 20 plus years, and I think all of us have a connection to that or been a part of it. And The Passion was a precursor to me attending the weekend.
Nice.
Interesting.
What's interesting with Markman for Christ, we had Michael Cusick on a few weeks ago, and I understand Michael was in your group there, Scott. That's all I'll say. But I digress.
And we went and did the Wild at Heart weekend with John Eldridge, so it's like the whole 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon in this group, right? Or to Mel Gibson or Randall Wallace. I mean, whoever works, John Wick, and I'd love for what's his name, the star of John Wick. Why is this in The Matrix?
Keanu Reeves.
Thank you, Keanu Reeves. One of us God help one of us run into him so we can invite him to a Marked Man weekend. I think it'd be great.
There we are.
Experience.
Then get him on this podcast. So, sports movies. Sports movies. I'm going to go with 2 Chariots of Fire, 1981.
Oh, that's really good. That's my wife's favorite movie.
Yeah. 1920 Olympics. He stands up. He won't run on Sunday. So there's a lot of courage there. And then Miracle. I think it came out in 2004, but that's the movie over the U.S. hockey team that beat the Soviets in 1980. And not really a spiritual movie, but just an endurance, a leadership movie.
That's on my list.
So those, I don't have a lot of sports movies, but those are two.
Not going alone as well. They finally pull it together when they recognize they are actually a team and not a bunch of individuals. So.
Yeah, there's this one scene where they're playing, is it Sweden or Finland, and they're all just kind of joking off, and the coach makes them, I don't know what it's called, but back and forth on the ice, and it's like forever. And finally, the guy who becomes the team captain, he calls out his name, and the coach says, "Well, who do you play for?" And he says, "I play for the U.S." He says, "Okay, that's it." And they get it that they need to be a team. So that was a powerful moment in that show.
That was really good. One of mine is Remember the Titans, with Denzel.
Okay.
It's got Ryan Hurst in it. Amazing. He was amazing in that. He was also in We Were Soldiers. It's got Ryan Gosling. Amazing.
Ryan Gosling's in that movie?
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
And I was trying to get into my sci-fi movie with that segue, but anyway.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Robert didn't bite.
You just hold
Robert
on.
didn't bite on that one.
A sports movie that my wife actually likes is Rocky Balboa.
No,
that's on my list too.
My wife can watch a boxing movie. It's got to be pretty good, but just the grappling that he goes through, being an aged out boxer, he's lost his life. He's redefining who he is after boxing, and then of course the interplay with his son is just gripping.
Really good.
That is probably the only Rocky movie that I've seen the whole thing.
Oh man, Rocky 4 is great.
Yeah. Okay.
Steve, you need to binge.
I know.
You need to
I
binge.
pity the fool who's never seen a Rocky movie.
Is David around or something? Binge with him.
Adrian.
So I love what you guys have picked so far. I would maybe consider The Blind Side, and of course my favorite movie is about baseball. But I'm a race car guy.
Okay.
So Ford versus Ferrari was a lot of fun for me.
Yeah.
It was really good.
And what I loved about it, if we want to talk about the value to men, it is possible to play your own game inside of somebody else's game, and win even when you lose.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's that's one of the things about that movie that I would offer guys to consider. So.
Yeah, and
Well,
did
got
we?
me,
I'm looking through my notes. Did we? Did anybody mention Schindler's List at any time?
Yeah.
No.
You didn't hear it because you were talking, but it came up during World War II conversation. So
Okay.
Yeah, I had brought that one up too.
It did not come up.
no, it did. Leo said
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Play back.
Did you? So one of the things to that movie, and something that you said, Robert, triggered that was just that scene where he's talking about his car, and that could have been 10 more people.
Yeah.
And he roughly saved 1,000 Jews. And at the end of the movie, how powerful it is that they want to honor him, and they take the fillings and the crowns from their teeth, and the jeweler makes him a ring and gives that to him, and he just weeps because he just wanted to save more people. There's so much about that movie that is so powerful about what it means to be a man, to take a stand for what's right, and the cost that's going to be paid. And a bunch of these movies that we've mentioned have those types of themes.
So we did mention Saving Private Ryan, and one of the thoughts that I really had about that one is that there's two real things from that. I mean, the command is wasting a whole unit to save this guy's life.
Yeah.
And there in that part of the story, there is this essence of sometimes you just need to do the duty and experience the joy of doing the duty and not count the cost. Just, don't do the cost benefit analysis. Just do what you're asked to do. I think God asks us to do things a lot of times without really wanting us to worry about the math on it. And then
we have to trust him.
Yeah. And then on the backside of that, recognizing what has been sacrificed so that you can be here and do this. And so make it worthwhile. And I think we can apply that obviously in the Christian faith to what Christ has given for us. But I think we can even apply it as American men, to the sacrifice that men have made so that we can continue to do what we do and appreciating that. So,
yeah. And I would think that would be another reason that we ought to watch some of these movies, is to be reminded of what we do have.
But Scott was alluding to those ideas, and I wanted to just touch on them.
Yeah.
That was well said.
Have you seen John Rabe?
I have not.
Okay, John Rabe is an obscure movie. It is the Schindler's List of the East, and it is incredibly difficult to find. And it's a powerful movie, and it's in Chinese, Japanese, German, and English. The whole movie. There's a lot of subtitles. Steve Buscemi is in it, and it's in my opinion, as powerful as Schindler's List. But for some reason, it just wasn't distributed as broadly. I can't find it on streaming. I can't even find it on YouTube.
Well, Eric, if you find that, send that to me. Matter of fact, that's your homework assignment, as though send that to me and I'll put it in the show notes. But we need to hear from Leo. Leo, sports movies from you.
Well, I'm from Indiana. I live in Indiana.
Hoosiers.
That's a great one. I thought you were going to say Talladega Nights, but okay.
Yeah, but that show just, the whole feel, the small town, true story, small town going against the much bigger, all heart. I mean, a great cast. There's just a lot of.
I think him at his best. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just a great movie. I mean, if you haven't seen it,
you should see
you're
it
missing out. You're missing out. Of course, I put Field of Dreams in there for you, tking about you. Rudy, that's another.
That's a good one.
Really classy one. And then this one is for Eric, Major League. That's the one machine. It is.
Nice.
Come on.
Nice.
It's a sports
Robert's
movie,
favorite movie right there.
And it is. You got to. I mean, there was a lot of comedy in that show.
Okay, we're going to segue. We're going to segue into comedies, and I didn't think we would have much here, but
the list is endless.
Yeah, well, we're not going to do that. Here's what came to my mind: a small movie, wasn't a blockbuster, but Secondhand Lions. Have Robert
that's such a great movie.
Yeah. The two older men.
That's a great movie for dads to watch with their nephew.
Sons. Yeah. Yep. Because it's kind of funny, but it's got some good lessons in it.
It's got a manhood speech in it. It's got a manhood speech in it.
I think you're right.
To the kid, Joey Osmond, whatever his name is, Joey something. I can't remember.
Well, there's a
But it's
couple.
Robert Duvall and Batman.
Yeah, Michael Caine.
Michael Caine and Robert Duvall. Yeah, they're great.
Yeah. I was thinking at the time where they're in the county store and the 4 or 5 hoodlums from the 50s want to rough them up, and Robert Duvall puts them all down, and so that's mine. That's mine. To Robert's 12. I've just got the one. Secondhand Lions.
Well,
what are we on now? What topic?
Comedy.
I'm going to go with The Incredibles. I'm going to go with The Incredibles because it's also a great Fantastic Four movie.
Okay.
I'm gonna go way back.
Nobody likes my pick. It's a great movie.
I like that one.
It's a great movie, but it's neither a comedy nor a Fantastic Four film. I really need you to get your guy to edit this out.
I'm gonna go way back.
Not only is it a comedy, it is actually a real. It's the way the Fantastic Four movie should have been made. It actually is what it should be.
Okay.
I'll die on that hill.
Monty Python.
Which one?
Which one?
The Holy Grail.
Quest for the Holy Grail.
The Life of Brian. The Life of Brian.
Come on now. That's a comedy.
Okay, we're gonna jettison
one
this
more
topic
classic.
pretty quick.
No, we're not. We're leaving too much on the table. Leaving too much on the table here.
Up in smoke.
Anchorman is a movie that I sat in my living room by myself with nobody around, and I laughed out loud while I was watching it. If you're watching a movie by yourself and you're laughing out loud, that thing is funny.
It did have some laugh out loud parts. It did. That's a good one.
You have to include Blazing Saddles in this list.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah. You have to. And it's odd because I'm not a big fan of Ben Stiller films, but Tropic Thunder was hilarious.
Well, we knew we were going to do that.
That was good.
Another Vietnam War movie.
Another Vietnam War movie. It's actually not. It's a movie about a Vietnam War movie.
It's basically
just don't be the flying dragons in it.
It's the Three Amigos with Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise is not in it. I don't care what you say. Tom Cruise is not in that movie.
No, he's not in that movie.
Les Grossman is genius.
Yes, and he's my top pick to play Tom Cruise in his biography film.
There you go. That's right.
Okay, so Eric, give us your.
Okay, so mine is probably not in the comedy category, but man, I love Jojo Rabbit. I thought that movie was fantastic. Had some really funny parts.
Isn't it a dark comedy? I thought it had some dark comedy parts. So that counts?
Yeah.
I'm submitting it.
Yeah.
So the boy imagines. I mean, he's a little Nazi, and he has an imaginary Hitler friend who is hysterical because the Hitler character is just his impression of Hitler and his imagination. And man, it is a set in. I don't actually know where it is.
Someplace in Germany.
Germany. Anyway, he grapples with what he's grown up with, his presuppositions, and they just kind of come crashing down around him through real life. And
the Coen brothers.
Powerful. It's powerful.
That's funny that you say that. That's the Coen brothers.
Mm-hmm. Okay, to start land the plane here, sci-fi. That was tough for me. I mean, I like a lot of sci-fis, but I couldn't think of anything that was like a man sci-fi. I did think of the Book of Eli. Thought about that.
Yeah.
And then maybe I'll just leave it at that. What else you guys got?
Technically, all sci-fi could fall into the man category.
Yeah, kind of.
I'm gonna go with a classic Star Wars.
A New
Disney
Hope.
Star Wars.
A New Hope.
The original film number 4 or number 1, depending on how you're counting. The first 6 films work for me, but the first film is the hero's journey. There's so much about it, and then the second film is the best of the series.
So we won't talk about that, but I'm not gonna dance on your grave there. But I will say that A New Hope definitely, and I think one of the reasons it's so significant to me is I was 9 years old, so it was at the beginning of me becoming a person of my own. when that film came out. It was so significant, and culturally it was so significant. I was caught up and swept up in the toys and all the stuff around it. So I agree with you, Scott, on A New Hope for sure. In there.
Yeah, I was 7, and I remember seeing that and jumping out of my seat when the Imperial Star Destroyer flew by, and yeah.
And then if you know nothing about it, go see Project Hail Mary while it's still in the theaters. Seen it twice with each of my daughters and with my wife, and it is another hero's journey. It is a man's movie. But the ladies can go with us, so it doesn't fit for Robert.
No, well, it wouldn't fit into my narrow definition of a man movie, but it's a great movie to see, and I think men should go see it. So I did enjoy it. I got to finally see it last week as well. I kept wanting to do comparisons with The Martian. That's probably not a good thing to do because it's not a really comparable thing with The Martian. But it is
same author.
Fantastic movie. Yeah. Very entertaining. And I
Leo,
did enjoy it.
Well, I really liked Independence Day.
Okay.
That's a good one. That's a really
good one. And then
it is
when Will Smith punches the alien man. It's just a flash into the future of his Oscar days. So
and when Eddie from Family Vacation helps save the world.
On the line of the sci-fi,
or Christmas Vacation. Sorry,
the Terminator. That's pretty good sci-fi too.
Okay.
Yeah, don't watch the later movies.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I understand.
The 2 was good though.
T2.
Yeah, the first two. The first two.
Was probably better than 1.
Yeah.
I would say T2 was the better of all of them.
We could do a part 2 to this of movies that we like that are series or trilogies or whatever, and then where to stop.
I even think that we're going to have to just do a bonus track while we're here right now because there's some stuff we've left laying around.
Yeah. So. Well, I'll let Matthias decide on that. Eric, what do you got? Sci-fi's.
Well, I already said The Matrix, which probably should have saved for this category, but I do love the Dune movies.
They're
good.
About
3.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, I agree, especially the first.
They're good
stuff. Yeah,
and soundtrack is cool. It's just weird, but really weird. Very IMAX worthy.
And I will say this, another IMAX worthy one, that the movie's okay, but the soundtrack is one of the best I've ever listened to is Oblivion. So
okay.
Yes. That's a good one.
Tom Cruise.
It is Tom Cruise, unfortunately, but it's
Tom makes some good movies. Don't be knocking him.
He
had a very stellar
Born on the 4th of July. Great movie.
Stop it.
You're jealous.
No, here's
Risky Business.
Risky
the
Business.
Young men. Should we be telling the young men to see Risky Business? Isn't that
it's a good coming of age film?
Yeah, exactly.
I will say this about Tom Cruise. I like his movies when he disappears. So I think like Reacher was great because you didn't see a lot of Tom Cruise. You saw a lot of his version of Jack Reacher. So movies where he's not prototypically Tom Cruise or his best stuff.
Magnolia.
Yeah. I do think in Oblivion we're getting a lot of Tom Cruise. So
quite a few Tom Cruises.
And the new
we're getting several of them. Yes.
Very good point.
Really good too. You mentioned that Reacher with
the
big guy Richardson. Man, he's and
okay.
we didn't get into series. Are we going to do series now?
Well, okay.
Thank you, Leo. Segue into 24 and Band of Brothers.
24. Hey, wait a minute. 24. Jack Bauer saves the world. How many times?
It's not a movie. It's not a movie.
Yes.
This is a movie.
Well, the last category.
There was a 24 movie.
Well, no,
that took place in Africa.
You totally skipped over romance.
Well, that's exactly right. I did.
Hey, I'm going to submit a category here in a second.
I have 2 romance movies from the same actor that are worth.
Exactly. Jerry Maguire. Jerry Maguire.
No.
Yeah.
We're going to let each of you. We're going to let each of you.
High fidelity.
Tell me the money.
High Fidelity, and even better, Grosse Pointe Blank.
I've not seen either one of those.
That's
not
John
bad.
Cusack.
Not bad, Robert.
Great films.
Okay.
Hey guys.
Okay.
Leo,
I got 3.
Leo, give us.
Oh, Leo's got 3.
Yeah. The Romance, Gone with the Wind, Casablanca, and Titanic.
Oh, everyone but Titanic.
2 out of 3 are good. Not bad, Leo.
Yes.
I thought you were going to stop.
And then 24. That's a good romance.
And way to pick a black and white film.
Remember Nina?
Way to pick a black and white film. That's good.
Yeah.
Scott, what is your other category?
My other category?
I had another category.
Anything that doesn't fit into anything.
I was doing romance. We're doing other.
I want to talk about musicals. Manliest.
Oh, that's good, Eric. That's good.
Steve won't take it, but these guys are like
Spam-A-Lot.
I have 2 of them on my list. I have 2 of them on my list.
All right, I'm going to submit.
So wait. No, we're going to give Scott 10 seconds here. You got 10 seconds, Scott.
To come up with an other.
Whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do.
We didn't mention any of this guy's films, but maybe one and he was a director. But Gran Torino. That's an actual great story of a man.
Yes,
Clint Eastwood
very
stars
good.
in it.
Yeah.
And we mentioned a movie where he was a director.
So was The Mule.
2 of them.
which was in that same genre.
Yeah.
And as you bring up the Clint Eastwood, that's very good because I had a category of westerns, and the 2 westerns, the top 2 westerns that I have is The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Yep.
Yes.
And The Unforgiven.
Great movie.
Those are
I would have gone with Pale
Good,
Rider.
Will
Bad,
Penny.
that's old.
Yep.
Yeah.
I tell you, Eastwood, he's gold. He is just
and
gold.
I would have gone with Pale Rider.
And Gene Hackman was great in
Yes.
in
That
Unforgiven,
movie.
too. Yeah.
But Gene, Clint's, Dirty Harry. He's done so much. But
what I loved was
I really like the beginnings of the westerns.
True Grit was good. Yeah.
The John Wayne one or the new
You're
one?
talking about the Coen brothers. You're talking about the Coen brothers again.
The new one.
The
Is that
Coen
Coen
brothers.
Brothers.
Yeah.
too?
That's the Coen brothers.
Good.
With Haley, what I can't remember her last name. She was good in that.
But I was surprised Steve didn't
Steinfeld.
bring up the
Haley
westerns
Steinfeld.
in his little notes.
I just totally. Yeah.
That's okay,
Yeah, I lost that one.
I brought him
Jason
Eric,
Bourne
did you
was in
have
that
anything
too, in
else?
True Grit.
I do.
Eric,
I
what
want
do
to
you
put
got?
some musicals,
What do you got?
and I'm going to submit Les Miserables.
That's
Okay.
good.
Oh, that is really good.
Profound. Man, if you watch that show,
which version?
And Anne Hathaway is singing "The Dream I Dreamed."
I cried.
Hi, you're dead.
I cried hard.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it is. It is incredible.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's funny that you bring up musicals. Fantasia is one of my very impactful movies. It's not a man movie, but it is good for boys to kind of get that whole dream music sequence kind of thing going. Imagination Gone Wild. Sound of Music's great movie too. As well.
I thought of that, but probably my all-time favorite kind of guy one would be Oliver.
Oh, okay.
I've heard of it, but I don't think I've seen it. Okay.
Good.
What about the
All right.
Greatest
Well,
Showman?
I'm gonna land the plane here.
The Greatest Showman was good too.
Yeah.
So we're leaving so much on the
Well,
floor.
we are,
really
but I'm going
so.
to end with this. Ken Burns, a documentary on the Civil War.
I'm going to hang up now.
The best.
I'm going to hang up now.
You are not.
That's when he made good documentaries. That's a good pick. Just don't watch the American Revolution one.
I saw that. I didn't think it was that good. I think you're right. But the Ken Burns, the one over is the Civil War, I thought was absolutely phenomenal. Excellent. And then the HBO series Band of Brothers and Pacific were good. But men, you're right. This can go on forever. And, one of the things that we talked about, I think it's good for men to just sit around and just share with one another. I think it's good for younger men to just listen to the stories of older men. It's not just the movies. It's why we like the movies, things that come up in our, as we were growing up. This is where I was at. This is what I was thinking about. This influenced me and things like that. Let me do this. I end just about every one of our shows this way, but guys, if you had a young man in front of you and you had one shot to give him one piece of advice, you don't have a paragraph. You've got one shot. Let's go Lopez, Scott, Tippett, Eric. You got one shot to tell one young man one piece of advice. What would it be?
You got to get together with me and watch 24.
That's good.
Actually,
and then when we finish 24, we're going to watch Prison Break.
Leo, you and I have some good memories.
We do. I do got to say one thing about 24 though. This goes back to when Steve was in Etna Green, and we looked forward to 24. He'd come over. At one time, he walked over in the blizzard.
I did
have chicharrones and Diet Pepsi with me and watch 24. We looked forward to Tuesday night 24, and it really it was special for us.
Well, when Robert Tippett showed up and on the show, and they killed him within the first 10 minutes of the show, I was totally devastated at that point, and I was done with 24. So, do you guys remember that?
It's your loss.
I do.
John, John, I'm trying to remember his name, the actor, John Voight. John Voight shows up on the show. His name, the character name is Robert Tippett, and 10 minutes later, he's shot in the head dead.
I love it.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking
That's
about.
totally appropriate.
Okay. Anyway, back to the question, Robert. Scott, I'll come back to you. Robert, you got one shot, one young man. You only got time to give them one piece of advice. What would it be?
You're not alone.
Okay.
And don't be alone.
And yeah, you got to be intentional. Okay. I like that. Scott.
Yeah, tagging on that, and basically what Leo did with you, Steve, is you guys are brothers. You've gone through life for 25 years together.
Gosh, I don't
know. So your brothers down in the corner on here, but then you have a brother to the side here. Is find somebody that you can do life together like this with, and then also find out what your why or your mission is. What's your purpose?
Yeah. Eric, I know you work with a lot of young men, but you got one young man, you got one shot. What are you going to tell him?
Man, I'm going to go back to the Matrix. I'm going to say there is a life of meaning and truth and power and adventure. It's not necessarily the world that you see with your eyes.
That's right.
I think that's
so much out there if you see it with the eyes of your heart.
I need to hang.
I think that's an excellent way to stop. Men, thank you very much.
Yeah, Steve. You mentioned right before we got into the interview portion that you were whatever episode this is, and I actually think it's episode number 27. Now we have a bunch of different videos and stuff on YouTube.
You may be right. Yeah.
We got shorts and stuff, so it's hard to quantify. But I think when I upload, it's number 27.
Okay, there we are.
I think that's if you're counting the little update videos that we have too. So it could be like technically episode 24 or 25, something like that. Anyways, I digress. It's interesting to see an older generation of men get together because y'all start getting just as like, I don't know if contentious is the right word, but about your opinions. You're very opinionated about what you enjoy and things like that. Because I see in my generation the same thing, but maybe with different types of media, right? So it's just funny to see because I'll have the same arguments about like different like animes or something with a friend of mine because a friend of mine loves this one. It's like one of his favorites of all time. Even his fiance has a tattoo of one of the main characters on her arm, and every time I see her, I'm like, that show's trash. So, anyways. But yeah, so it's just funny to see it's the same energy. Now, I think one interesting point to me that I think was actually really, really cool was Scott McKenzie's kind of almost testimony on The Passion of the Christ, because that is a movie I actually saw.
Oh, yeah.
I think I saw that when I was like 13 or 14 years old.
Okay.
We sat down for like a movie night one night with my parents. They made us all bowls of ice cream, and we watched The Passion of the Christ.
That's not a movie to watch to eat ice cream with.
Right? I know. I look back and I'm like, it's a weird mixture of things going on, but it was cool to hear his story with that. And I know that media, movies, man movies leave a lasting impact on men in different ways and maybe, different types. But it was cool to see that y'all all had the similarities in kind of what y'all enjoyed in the man movies and stuff like that.
Well, Matthias, when it comes to not just movies, but entertainment in general, there are two pieces. One of it, and a lot of people don't think about it these days, is that there actually is a danger that we can become too comfortable and we could actually be too entertained, that we're always looking for entertainment. And when we do that, whether it's movies, whether it's, just anything, we lose our manhood, we lose our purpose. We actually become enslaved to the entertainment. I think about Rome, some of the emperors were, as long as the people pay their taxes, as long as we give them bread and we give them the gladiators, the arena, as long as we entertain them, they will be happy. And unfortunately, there's some truth to that. So, entertainment is so available. We've got our phones, we have our TVs, the computers, and we could just, and the truth is, so many people are online, whether it's Netflix or Amazon or YouTube or whatever. And I think as a culture, we do consume too much media. We don't read enough, and it doesn't have to be a book. It could be something on a tablet or something. But as a culture, I do think we consume too much entertainment, and I think that's a bad thing. However, or not necessarily however, but on the flip side, it kind of reminds me of what we talked about early on, that when you look at manhood, one of the things that we had the generations long ago were men who, after they came in from the battle or came in from the farm or came in from the hunt or whatever, they would sit around the campfire and they would tell stories. And the stories would inspire each other. The stories would encourage each other. And we could do that with movies today. I remember talking to one of my sons, my older son, and he asked me one day, why do I like war movies? And I think part of it is because it reminds me that we are in a spiritual war, and I do want to be tough. I do want to be strong. I do want to be there for my brothers. And sometimes it's inspirational. Sometimes movies can educate us towards leadership. I mentioned this when it was my time, when I was able to get a word in.
Yeah, when you were able to squeeze a little bit in.
Yeah, when I was able to squeeze something in. The movie Miracle, about the 1980 Olympics, where the U.S. and see, they were all amateurs at that time. Mm-hmm. They were all amateurs. The U.S. hockey team just decimated. Well, they didn't decimate it, but they beat the Soviets. And you look at the leadership development, and you look at the character development, and you look at the hard work. In other words, we can learn something by reading it. Obviously, the best way to learn something is to do it, go through the process. But then when we see it played out, and we see it happening, that inspires us, and we think, okay, I can do this too. I can rise up. I can get with the band of brothers. I can rescue the maiden. I can save. I can beat the bad guy. I can be noble. I can be virtuous. I can do what's right. And I think there's some value in that.
Yeah.
And also just the, there's a balance, and I'm losing the proverb right now, but Solomon, and this is rough paraphrase, where Solomon talks about not being too far to one extreme, but having balance. And there's appropriate time to just be able to sit down with some guys and just blow off some steam.
Yeah.
Everybody's yelling, go get them. Everybody's like, oh no, don't do that. Or everybody's, oh wow, that was heavy.
Yeah.
And then that goes with you into the next day. Leo mentioned 24, and I don't know who it was, Scott or Eric, said, no, that doesn't count. But that reminds me of when that series first came out. I mean, it was kind of a bonding thing with Leo and I, because I went over there and Leo gave me a bag of pork rinds and a Diet Pepsi. That's when I started drinking Diet Pepsi.
I was about to say, that's what I'm drinking right now.
Yeah, there you are. There you are. The other stuff, the real stuff, just has way too much sugar in it. But it was something that built community, because we would be thinking all week long, okay, what's going to happen? I think that's going to happen. No, that's going to happen. And then, we'd watch the episode. It's like, oh, I told you, or, whatever. So there's value in what lesson we can learn. And then there's value in just having something that we can connect with each other on. It's like sports. Here in a couple, if not next week, the week after that, we're going to talk to Brandon Wolfram, who is a guy who played professional basketball in Europe, and he works with Fellowship of Christian Athletes now. I'm not a basketball fan, but I think I ought to know something about basketball just to know what people are talking about. And sometimes it's good to just know what's out there. What are the movies that tell a story? What are the movies that people are excited about, and then why? So in addition to just being a fun episode, I was hoping that maybe we can draw some small lessons out of it as well.
Yeah. And I'm going to kind of go back to what you were saying, kind of like when you were talking about that stuff, you watch it and it leaves, and you go the next day kind of with that still lingering in your mind. And it's like I said in the first segment that I wasn't a big movie person growing up, but the one genre that stuck with me as a child, and specifically one character in this genre, it was Spider-Man.
Okay,
that was my favorite superhero growing up. Even though his powers weren't super flashy, they're not like the most overpowered thing or whatever in the the space. But that was kind of like one of the biggest superhero like movies that was started to get created at that time. I don't know if you remember or know who Tobey Maguire is. But in the first,
I know the name, and I think so, but I'm not sure.
So talking about that series, that was the first one that kind of kicked it off for me. I remember watching it as a little kid, and that was the first movie that stuck with me. And I was like, man, just seeing and I think it's a few things to draw from it that inspired me as a kid. It was kind of the overcoming, the perseverance, but also like seeing a character go through like a hard like arc, or getting like basically just getting the snot beat out of them, in your words. And just kind of persevering and pushing through. And then also, the famous line comes from Spider-Man: with great power comes great responsibility.
Oh, okay.
And so that, obviously it's, everybody knows, most people know that line in my generation. It's kind of memed or, whatever, but there's truth in that too. And I think there's biblical truth in that, I think, and this is I don't think this verse is directly applicable from the Bible, but there's a verse that those who are forgiven much love much, and those who are forgiven little love little.
Yeah.
And I think it's that kind of same principle. We realize the power and responsibility that we have as ambassadors for Christ here. So that's kind of the lesson that I draw personally from it. Is, as an ambassador for Christ, with that great power comes great responsibility, which is, a reason why I do a lot of things that I do. I go to work every day. I may not like certain days of work, but I get through and do that perseverance because it's my responsibility. It's that power of having my family is a great responsibility to have. And same thing with doing this podcast and trying to reach people, trying to encourage and build up young men. It's because I think, obviously not directly from that lesson growing up, but that same principle I take with me in life. Do you get what I'm saying there?
Yeah. You mentioned the Bible, and one thing that came to my mind was the parable of the talents. I want to say Matthew chapter 25, 24, 25. I can't remember, but Jesus tells the parable. You have a master. He gives one guy 5 talents. And at the time, a talent represented a measure of wealth. And, today we look at a talent as anything that you have where you can produce something good with it.
Skill.
Talent. Yeah. Well, the master gives one guy 5, one guy 2, and one guy just 1. And then the master goes away and he comes back and he says, well, what did you do? And the first guy says, well, you gave me 5. Look, I put them to use, and here are 5 more. And the master says, well done, good and faithful servant. There's the second guy. He goes, hey, you gave me 2, and well, I put it to work, and here's 2 more. And the master says, well done, good and faithful servant. And then the third guy, he gripes, he whines, and he didn't steal the talent, but he didn't do anything with it. And the master says,
put it away.
Yeah. And the master said, depart from me, you wicked and lazy servant. And so we were thinking about the same thing, responsibility, but just from two different pieces.
Yeah.
But this idea that I have been given something, and okay, what am I going to do with it? And, you can look at a lot of movies where some guys have been given a bum rap, but did they take something and do something with it? And that's where the manhood's played out. It's just it's being responsible for what I have and working toward a goal, seeing the big picture and doing it with joy.
Yeah.
So,
and I like that you talk about, the guy giving the bad rap. It's like, well, say we got somebody listening who's been through the ringer in life, and say you're down on your luck. You go through so many hard times, and you're still going through hard times. But what do you have with that? You have a lot of lessons. You have a lot of wisdom. You've gone through a lot of hardships. Use that to encourage others. To what are you going to do with those lessons you've learned? And that's just what I thought of when you said that. But I also kind of want to maybe pivot here and maybe talk about something that I think you have a little bit of experience with, based off of conversations that I've had in your family. But anime is another one that I kind of have left in. Every time I watch a really good one, it leaves like that impact on me, where I'm just like going through the next day with that feeling of inspiration, that feeling of like, man, I want to take this and do something with this energy or this passion that it's left in me. But there's a lot of good ones, and maybe this will be an episode we do maybe in the future. I think it'd be a good one. Have you watch something, and then we talk about lessons.
And I would be willing to do that. And I've seen a few.
Yeah.
With my kids. So I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, and I think it kind of goes back to that concept of you and you talking about like your bros, and it's like I'm sure there's lots of people in my generation who are big movie buffs too. But I know a lot of people that aren't as well, but they do love anime, and there's a lot of community around certain animes, like I talked about and mentioned a little bit earlier. So it's cool to see that even though there's different mediums of these things like man movies, and I know that's the main topic today, but even though we're talking about that, but I like that you brought up that is community driven. Like it gives you that kind of sense of camaraderie. I've talked to like real life people, my friends with it, people in like comments or whatever, like a community online. But also, so it's just cool to see that in your generation and then also see it in mine as well, just with different things. Maybe, like I said, maybe there's a ton of people who love movies that I don't know or connect with very well, but yeah.
Well, here's what I want to do for the challenge this week. Guys, I want to ask you to pick a movie, grab 2 or 3 other guys and think about this next weekend. I mean, if you're not married, maybe you could do it sometime during the week. But think about this next weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Pick one of the war movies that we mentioned in the show. Find it on Netflix, Amazon. My goodness, there are a billion ways that you can get a movie online today. And even if you have some friends that you're not in the same city, but you're really tight with each other, you could probably set up a way where you could watch it together online at the same time. I know one of my sons does that. He's got a group of buds, different parts of the country. Sometimes they travel different parts of the world, but they will set up a time and they'll watch a movie together. And I forgot the name of the medium that they use, but they can kind of comment and talk while the movie's playing on the different formats. So just do that. Just say, hey, Steve said to do this on the Man Identity, and Steve seems to know what he's talking about. So let's watch a movie together. And then after the movie, just say, okay, here's one thing that I learned. Here's one thing that I learned. And just go around and share with each other on that. So that would be the challenge that I would have. And then also, Matthias, you and I have been talking, and I've been talking with some other folks about where we're going with this podcast. We are getting close to the end of season 1. Here we are toward the end of April, and I've got some more things lined up. All that to say, though, send us an email at the Man Identity at Gmail. Is that the right email address?
Yep, that's right.
Matthias, I think, yeah. If you are watching on YouTube, put in some comments. If you have some questions, just, hey, Matthias and Steve, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? I mean, that might actually be an option to do an episode where we have 10 questions. So if you have some questions that you want us to address, do that. I mean, we are putting together a programming for the end of this season, and I'm already thinking ahead. Yes, I'm already thinking ahead to episode, season 2. So this is good. So we want to hear from you. Matthias, you always say this, but I'm going to say this. If this is a program that has been encouraging you, I just want to ask that you share it. Share the Apple, Spotify, or however you're getting that. Text it to someone, email it to someone. If you are watching on YouTube, and I know, Matthias, you're really driving the YouTube, and you've got your own station as well, so you understand that. But like and subscribe and share that.
Yeah.
Matthias, as you always say, if you don't like it, hit that dislike button twice.
Yes, sir.
Maybe somebody will get that. And, before we land the plane, Matthias, anything else you want to add today?
Man, you said, the challenge is one war movie. I'm trying to remember. I've only seen a handful of the ones that y'all mentioned. Full Metal Jacket. And then I think there was one maybe y'all didn't mention. I think it was called Red Dawn. You know what that is?
Okay. Well, that's interesting because you've got the original Red Dawn that came out. Wow.
Yeah, I'm talking about the original one. Yeah, I'm talking about the original one.
That's funny because if we were discussing it, I would probably give that one a thumbs down. I just wasn't that impressed. Yeah, a bunch of high school students.
I was gonna say, honestly, don't remember much about it, but I remember watching it. So, there you go. Never mind. Don't watch that one.
A tough one is Black Hawk Down.
Okay.
And we talked a little bit about this, that you got to watch it. Sometimes Hollywood does a movie and they're making an agenda. Yeah. I mentioned Platoon, and that is a tough action war movie. It's graphic. Curse words, it's just bad. But it was an anti-war movie making the army look bad. It was just, some elite rich Hollywood leftists wanted to make a movie to show how bad the American, military is. And so you have to look for agendas. But thinking of more of a modern one, I think Black Hawk Down was a good one. Part of the reason I say that is because I remember when that actually happened. I mean, historically, an old classic one of my favorites is A Bridge Too Far. That's from World War II. It's a longer movie. But yeah, find a war movie that we listed and just look for courage. Look for nobility. Look for men who are willing to sacrifice themselves to save others. Look for that nobility feature, that noble characteristic that we need more of in our days. And I want to say this, young guys, you've got that in you. God made you and created you to be a noble man. And I just want to challenge you and call you to live up to that. And if one of these movies can help inspire you in that direction, then so be it. Go do it.
There you go. Be strong. And I'll pair it what Steve said earlier. Like, subscribe, share with everybody, even your grandmother.
There you are.
There you are. All right. Be strong.